Out on the field, the pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beatsis is singing "Fight, Balls, Fight." The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Tennessee back on the practice field this morning. They were off on Sunday, getting geared up for the first scrimmage of the fall coming up on Thursday. That's when things get real. That's when things get legit. We talk about these position battles, right, on the offensive line, in the secondary. Who's going to lock down the corner position? Who's going to lock down that left guard position? You got to go and earn it. You got to go and take it, and they have the opportunity to do that on Thursday as they take to the field. But I want to talk a little bit about practice. That's right. We're talking about practice. Why do I want to do that? Well, I think guys like Eric Kane over at VolQuest, Ben McKee at GoVols 247, they do a great job covering Tennessee football, covering the practice. You know, Kane are doing the practice reports every single day. Really good content. But here's the difference. A guy in the media like an Eric Kane or a Ben McKee only gets access to a certain part of practice. Now, somebody like Eric Ainge, somebody like Jason Swain, they're VFLs. They get access to the full practice, and sometimes they put out some of that information, and that's what I want to get into. I want to talk about the buzz around fall camp that goes a little bit further than stretching, routes on air, and what the media has access to. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about it. But as always, let's do that YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe, click the bell, all that good stuff. We'll be live tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Good Lord willing. There are storms coming. If they come through and knock out the power or internet, we will reschedule. But plan to be here tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Also Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Ben McKee from GoVols 247 will be in the house. We'll be talking about the entire first week of fall camp. So that should be a good show. And then also, if you want to help us out, hit the join button down below. It's taking it a step further. If you like the content, the videos, the live streams, hit that join button for $1, just $1 per month. You gain access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But you keep the lights on here. I would greatly appreciate that support. But let's jump into it. Let's talk about it. I'm sure some of you guys saw this on Twitter. Ben McKee put this out from practice this morning. This is Joe Milton to Dante Thornton, followed by Joe Milton to Jacob Warren. Let's take a look at a little bit of clips from practice this morning. Thornton, here's one to Jacob Warren. Again, that was put out on Twitter by Ben McKee from practice this morning. I think, you know, what excites me, and again, listening to Eric Ainge this morning, that's where a lot of this video is coming from. What's the scoop? What's the real deal? What's the buzz around fall camp outside of that initial media access? And, you know, talking about Joe and his potential, he has a huge opportunity in front of him in 2023. The sky is the limit. We're talking about playing for SEC championships, national championships. This football team has a legitimate shot to do that. I talked this morning, made a video this morning talking about whether or not Tennessee had a shot at the college football playoff. Go watch that video if you missed it. Really good stuff kind of talking about what this team has to do. But Joe Milton, we've seen him. We've seen him mic'd up, right? Laid back, relaxed, loose, confident is probably a word I would use to describe Joe Milton. But something that Ainge talked about is that he is a leader, like a true leader. And he's not one of these in your face all the time type of leaders. You know, like I said, laid back, joking around, dancing, having a good time. But he likes to coach up the younger guys. And I'm not just talking about Nico. I'm not, you know, obviously that relationship is there. He's coaching up Nico. He's working with Nico. He wants Nico to be the future of Tennessee football, but also some of the young wide receivers, the running backs. If they don't do something right, Joe Milton gets on them and says, we have an expectation. We have a standard around here that you have to live up to. One of the things I like specifically that Ainge talked about, and I'm going to get into the linebackers here in just a second, but it was at the end of practice, right? At the end of practice, Josh Heupel speaking to the football team after he's done saying what he has to say, he tells Keenan Peely to break the team down. Very interesting. Just joined this football team during the offseason via the transfer portal, throws it to Keenan Peely, but before he has a chance to break them down. Joe Milton says, hold on a second, I've got something I need to say. And then he addresses the team. That's a leader. That is a guy that is leading and motivating, and I'm excited about Joe Milton's future, but more specifically on the linebackers. That's something that Eric Ainge talked about this morning on his show, specifically at practice. You're talking about the media seeing some one-on-ones, and you can take some stuff away from that. The media seeing routes on air, but guys like Swain, guys like Ainge, guys like Kyler Kirbyson, they get to stick around for full practice. And you're talking good on good, ones versus ones, 11 on 11, real football, not necessarily the routes on air and all that type of stuff. Talking about the linebackers, all we've heard about is Jeremiah Thielander, Arian Carter, how much weight they put on, how they looked apart, particularly Arian Carter looks like an SEC football player. And I'm excited about that. I was talking to somebody today. We were messaging back and forth about this defense. I said, I think the defense has a shot to take a step in 2023. And I think they have a very, very good opportunity to be really, really good in 2024. But Keenan Peely's a guy that really not a whole lot of people are talking about, but, transferred in from BYU, two-time team captain. The guy is 25 years old. Do you know the difference between a 25-year-old and an 18-year-old coming out of high school playing college football for the first time? There is a huge difference there. The maturity, the leadership of Keenan Peely. And again, the fact that at the end of practice, Coach Hype could have gone to Joe Milton or Ramel Keaton or any of these veteran leaders and asked him to break down practice. But who does he go to? He goes to Keenan Peely. One thing that I did like in Eric Cain's practice report from Saturday, he talked about a one-on-one drill where they're focusing on pass protection. It's linebackers versus running backs one-on-one. Obviously, the linebackers trying to get after the quarterback, the running back trying to protect the quarterback. Keenan Peely won in just about every single rep that he participated in. That excites me. He's a guy that, again, maturity, the leadership. And hearing Eric Ainge, they specifically asked him, what's the best position group on this football team? What do you guys think? Put in the comment section right now what you think the best position group is on this football team. And you can take it however you want to spin it. Obviously, you got Joe Milton and Nico. Would you say quarterback? Would you say the wide receiver room probably is a group that you could say is one of the best? Look at the running back room, right? Jabari Small, Jalen Wright, Dylan Sampson, Cam Seldon, who looks like an NFL running back out there. That's a pretty strong group. Eric Ainge said the linebackers were the best position group on the football field. Keenan Peely side by side with Aaron Beasley. And then you've got behind them, you've got some guys that, does Elijah Herring come on and take a step? Does Caleb Perry come on and take a step? And Arian Carter, I think, is already working himself in to the two deep at that linebacker position. But again, a lot of this is going to start to shake out and kind of have some direction here once we get to that first scrimmage on Thursday. That's going to be a crucial part of this fall camp, seeing what this football team is going to look like. Lastly, who I want to talk about that Ainge specifically brought attention to this morning that stuck out to me is the tight end room. And I would say that is probably a position group that needs some help. They need some bodies, right? You've got 3 scholarship players. One of those is a walk-on, one of those is a freshman in Ethan Davis. But he said Jacob Warren had a little pep in his step, right? And Jacob Warren's a guy that at times last year we were questioning. We didn't even know if he was going to come back for this final season, but he did. He came back, and that's huge. Talking about an empty tight ends room. Imagine Jacob Warren decides not to play football anymore, but he is back. He acts like he has something to prove. He's going about business the right way. We saw the connection with Joe Milton earlier there in the clip. So I'm excited to see what Jacob Warren could do. I think he can be a big part of this offense. We saw what Princeton Fant did a year ago. Can Jacob Warren be that guy? Now, some of you guys are going to love this. The exact quote from Eric Ainge about McCallan Castles is a monster. He is a monster. He is big. He is physical. We know that Josh Heupel wants to utilize these tight ends in the run game. How much of an advantage is that to have McCallan Castles out there? Big, physical, strong, NFL prospect. I just worry about depth. Ethan Davis, as a true freshman, is going to have to contribute, and he's a special, special type of kid. I'm excited about the future of Tennessee football with Nico slinging the rock to guys like Nathan Laycock, Mike Matthews, Squirrel White, Ethan Davis. The sky's the limit. But it's 2023. We can't skip ahead. And Ethan Davis needs to be ready, and he needs to be ready now for, in fall camp going into his freshman season this year. You guys jump into the comment sections. Let me know your thoughts, everything. I just wanted to come back and make another video because listening to Ainge this morning while I was at the gym after I dropped the first video, really got fired up about some of the things that he had to say about, I think, I've kind of had this narrative all offseason that I think the defense can get better. And when you're talking about the linebacker room being the best position group on the football team, not just on the defensive side of the ball, but on the football team, that excites me. That fires me up. But what do you guys think? Jump into the comment section and let me know. Go back and watch the video from this morning. Didn't get a whole lot of views, but talking about Tennessee as a college football playoff contender. I would love it if you guys would go check it out as soon as you finish up this video. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merch. Brand new Fuga shirts. We've got Gator Hater, TriStar if you want something simple and clean, and Buck Fama is back. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Again, the link is in the description below. And again, shout out to the members of the channel. Plug that earlier in the show, but I do appreciate you guys. You are the reason I have an opportunity to do this full time. But again, we're right around the corner from the regular season. Once the season gets here, we start doing fan call-in shows every single Sunday night. So if you want to be a part of that, you have to join the channel, be a member of the channel. The more you give, the quicker you have an opportunity to get on the show. But if not, that's cool. I asked nothing of you guys other than smashing the thumbs up because it's quick, free, and easy. Jumping into the comment section and talking Tennessee football because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.